5 awful habits that can make people disrespect you. These aren't just small annoyances. They can really hurt your reputation and relationships. Number 1, gossiping. We've all done it at some point, right? Sharing juicy details about others might seem like harmless fun, but it can seriously damage trust and respect. Gossiping is one of those habits that's really easy to fall into. It feels so natural to share interesting tidbits about other people's lives, especially if it makes for a good story. But what we sometimes forget is that when you gossip, you are talking about someone's private life without their permission. Imagine finding out someone's been talking about your personal stuff behind your back. It hurts, right? Yeah. Talking about others behind their backs might seem like no big deal, but it undermines trust and respect within your social circles. Number 2, always talking about yourself. We all love to share our stories and experiences, but there's a fine line between sharing and dominating the conversation. You might not even realize you're doing it, but others definitely notice. Imagine you're at a party or a casual gathering with friends, and every time someone tries to share a story or experience, you immediately steer the conversation back to your own life. Talking about yourself, or when you constantly steer every discussion back to yourself, it can come across as self-centered and make others feel like their experiences don't matter, which can cause them to lose respect for you. So, next time you're in a conversation, make a conscious effort to listen more than you speak. Show interest in the other person's life and experiences. You'll find that this not only helps you earn their respect, but also strengthens your relationships. Number 3, being unreliable. Being unreliable tells people that your word means nothing. It's like saying, "I don't care enough about you to follow through." Let me give you a clear example. Imagine you have a friend who always promises to hang out or help you with something, but rarely shows up or cancels at the last minute. At first, you might give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they must have a good reason, you think. But if it keeps happening, you start to feel like your time isn't valued. You might even stop inviting them to things because you expect them to flake out. Now, this doesn't just apply to personal relationships. It matters at work, too. If you agree to take on a project and then miss the deadline without any warning, your colleagues and boss will see you as unreliable. They might stop trusting you with important tasks and projects because they can't count on you to follow through. This can hurt your career because reliability is key to building a good professional reputation. To avoid being unreliable, start by being honest with yourself about what you can and can't do. Don't overcommit just to please others. It's better to say no up front than to agree to something and not be able to deliver. When you make a promise, keep it. If you say you'll do something, make sure you do it. And if you say you'll be somewhere, be there. Communication is also crucial. If something comes up and you can't follow through on a commitment, let the other person know as soon as possible. Apologize and explain the situation. Most people will understand if you communicate openly and honestly. It shows that you respect their time and are responsible enough to let them know in advance. Number 4, interrupting others. We've all been in conversations where we feel so excited to share our thoughts that we jump in before the other person is finished speaking. While this might seem harmless or even enthusiastic, it actually sends a very negative message. When you interrupt someone, it sends a clear message that you think what you have to say is more important than what they're saying. This can make the other person feel undervalued and disrespected. Imagine sharing a personal story or important idea, only to be cut off mid-sentence. It feels like the person interrupting doesn't care about your thoughts or feelings. Interrupting others is more than just rude. It shows a lack of self-control and respect. People might start seeing you as someone who's self-centered or impatient. They may even avoid having conversations with you because they feel like they won't be heard or respected. To break the habit of interrupting, practice active listening. When someone is speaking, really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Give them the space to express their thoughts completely before you respond. It's a simple but powerful way to show respect and build stronger connections. Number 5. Complaining constantly. It's okay to vent once in a while when things get tough, but when you make a habit of it, it can be really draining for everyone around you. Think about it. When you complain all the time, you're focusing on the negative aspects of life. This negativity can be exhausting for those who have to listen to it. Imagine being around someone who always talks about how terrible their job is, how annoying their friends are, or how nothing ever goes right for them. After a while, it gets really tiring, doesn't it? People generally like to be around those who lift them up, not bring them down. When you're always focusing on the negative, it can suck the energy out of any room and make others feel down too. It's like carrying a dark cloud with you wherever you go. The Stoics, an ancient group of philosophers, believed in focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. This is a powerful mindset because it helps us shift from complaining to finding solutions. For instance, instead of complaining about a heavy workload, we could look for ways to manage our time better or ask for help. Instead of grumbling about a disorganized boss, we could take the initiative to organize our part of the work and set a positive example. Remember, building respect starts with small changes in how we communicate and behave. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If this content was rewarding for your life, I'll leave 2 videos here that you might be interested in watching too. See you soon.